So hello and welcome to The Monthly, a mentoring moment at Emma's Table. I am Cynthia Mitchell, and you're going to meet some of the other ladies in a minute. We record our monthly sessions, just our monthly lady talk time. So whenever you see this, I just have to believe that this is going to be the right time for you to see it. Let's see. The monthly is actually a project of the STARR community, STARR, supporters of trauma awareness, understand the reality, and engage the resources. So the monthly is just kind of where we focus on ourselves as women, as ladies, and we just talk about what's on our minds, what's bothering us, what we like. Sometimes we talk about how we cope with things, it's just a real good time of support and encouragement for each other. Before we get to our talk today, I do want to make mention that you can go to our website, www.starrcommunity.online. You can find information about some of the projects, events, and different things that we have going on. You'll find some information. Also, you will find a link to some products and information that we are promoting. One thing that you'll find will be a link to Embrace Pangea. Pangea has a wide range of products that deal with various aspects of daily life, like deodorants, juices, vaginal detoxes. I'm using the feminine wash and the mouthwash, and they are great. So please go to our website and use our link on STARR Community Online and get your products. We would greatly appreciate that. Also, you can go on our website and order some flowers. Get your flower power going. We're doing a virtual fundraiser. It's a flower power fundraising. And the seeds will be shipped directly to you later in the year. But I mean, it's just a variety of things. Some purple allium, mixed wildflowers. There's some herb mixes. A lot of choices. So please check that out on our website. And you can also get merked up. Get you some STARR community merchandise. We have t-shirts and caps. And I think we've got some masks on our website. So if you go on and click the link, it'll take you to where you can order, and the merchandise will come directly to you. So we really do appreciate your support. And so you can sport your Baby I'm a Star merchandise and support trauma awareness. All right, so let's see. We've been doing this now, about 6 months? I don't know if we have a flow. You get much? Hey, Mush.
I let her in.
Hey there. I don't know if we have a flow. I don't know if we have an order or anything, but this is how we're gonna roll it today. Normally, we do take a few minutes, and all of the ladies that's online, we give them an opportunity to say hello, introduce themselves, let us know what they have going on, any project, if there's something going on with their business. We just want you to let us know what you have going on, and then we will get to our feature calendar STARR personality for today. We'll let she'll introduce herself last, and then she's going to tell us about her quote and why she chose her quote for the month of June. Okay, now let's see. My Shunda, well, I'll start, and then we'll go from there, because we'll go from there. Okay, so I had a lot going on, but this is what I want to talk about. We just did a Baby I'm a Star with Style fashion show at Rose Hill in the courtyard. And it was fabulous. We partnered with Nicole Simpkins collection, and the models were beautiful. They highlighted maxi dresses. We had mimosas in the courtyard. And I was afraid after, when it started getting close, I started thinking, oh my goodness, June 13th is going to be 1,000,000 degrees. Well, it was overcast and cloudy. It was a beautiful day actually to be out in the courtyard. And Dana Rideout was our sponsor. She's a licensed professional counselor in Aiken. And we just gave a little talk about trauma awareness, in particular, how it impacts women, and just reminding everybody to take care of themselves. So it was a good opportunity to spread some information with style. I think maybe not, maybe it will be soon. Some pictures on the website. I don't think I had a chance to put them up yet, but still go to the website and see what's going on. But it was absolutely fabulous. So that has been the biggest project that this chick has had going on since our last monthly conversation. Okay, let's see. Who's Mashunda? You want to tell us what you got going on?
Good evening. Little of nothing and lots of everything. That is what I have going on. How does that sound for you all?
Hey.
Sounds like a lot.
My name is Mashonda Mathis, aka Miss My, aka what are you doing over there? That's usually what it is. That's usually what it is. It's like, wow, what she got her hands into now. But as far as my business or my ministry or any of the many talents that I tend to be finding myself in, I have several dance engagements coming up, but they're all specific to the reasons that I'm going. I have a vacation Bible school I'm teaching Tuesday and Wednesday this week. Some more travel, and then really what I'm doing is doing some stuff that betters my Shonda's position in the world, looking out for my personal and professional development. So I'm seeking my CompTIA cybersecurity certification for one, and really spending a lot of time on my cello practice. So they aren't business related, but whatever makes your heart happy, do that. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's so cool. Because that's one thing. That's one reason we do this, Mashunda, is because especially as women, or maybe I should just speak for myself. I don't know that we do that enough. I know I haven't. And, yeah, and so yay, and you're the brainiac, so you have my support and love, energy, and prayers. But really, that's just wonderful. So yay for you. That is wonderful. I'm kind of getting the hang of it now at 57, but that's why we do this, to remind women to do just what you're doing.
Yay for us. Yay for us all.
Yay. We have, I'm gonna go ahead and call you a hot mama. We have a new hot mama with us today.
Oh my gosh, that one.
Yeah. Special occasion. Hi, Tiffany. Would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you and what you got going on.
Hi, Miss Cynthia, Sierra, and Miss Shonda. My name is Tiffany Walker, and I recently did the rally and walk that was yesterday, so I'm a little drained this week. That walk was successful to promote gun violence awareness. So I'm pleased that Mrs. Cynthia also was able to be a part of that, as well as the surviving moms. And it was a lot that went behind the scenes to make that event happen. And I was very pleased with it, and I look forward to many more. Personally, what I'm doing now is I have to contact, Miss Catherine. She's with the Life Choice Pregnancy Care Center, a lady that I met through Miss Cynthia, and her and I are supposed to speak next week in regards to me coming out and speaking to the young ladies, just giving them my experience, and hope to, change someone's mind about life, and, maybe put them on the right path in order for them to see light in a different view than what they have. So that's what I have going on next week. I just want to put my hands in a lot of things right now. I'm really passionate about, our youth, and to, just trying to give them a resource that they can use to be successful. So that's kind of where I stand at and what I have going on. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Wow. yeah, little becomes much in the hands of the Most High. So we appreciate and we applaud you and the ladies, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about the walk or some things as we get into the conversation, because it was just phenomenal. So, but you know me, I'll get down a rabbit hole. So let me pull back, and Miss Sierra Loxy Marie, I believe you are next, and why don't you tell us what you have going on, and then would you mind going into what was your thought process when you shared your quote with us for the month of June? And your quote is, "I will not be consumed by the fire, for I am the fire." So, Miss Firecracker, Fire Papa, what is it, Firecracker? Oh,
Yeah.
wait, I forgot what it was.
Yeah, that was, yeah, that's my name on Snapchat.
Okay.
So
Okay, so what you got going on, and let's talk to us about that.
okay.
Fire.
All right. Hello, everyone. Shalom, peace. So I am Sierra Mitchell, aka Loxy Marie, aka Cynthia's daughter. So I am a dancer slash actress slash herbalist. I guess, I also work in, corporate America. As far as what I have going on like a business front per se, I'm currently working on a book that I'm hoping to release in the fall of this year. And I also have been asked to perform a dramatic monologue in Savannah, Georgia, where I will be speaking in regards to my experiences as a Black woman in America. And for anyone that knows me personally, it's going to be interesting because I can be a handful. So I'm excited about it, but I'm just excited to share my truth, and also for those who may not know, the truth of my ancestors. So definitely excited about that. Trying to think anything else going on like a professional front. So no, not really, but as far as personal, I guess I'm kind of like on the same page as my lovely sister Mai. It's more of like a whatever makes me happy is what I'm doing. So right now I'm doing like a lot of soul work and detoxing and just focusing more on exercise, and then just participating in various dance classes for recreational purposes, something for me to enjoy. So that's what I'm doing as far as a personal front. So go ahead and go into the quote.
Sure.
Okay, so I will not be consumed by the fire, for I am the fire. The reason why I chose that quote is because it is not only a testament for me, but I feel like it's also a way that can be encouraging to others. I have found myself in a lot of interesting places, trying places, almost like being in the fiery pit and not feeling like I did not know how to handle certain things. I felt overwhelmed, overheated per se. And Bandit concurs. And I got to a point where I had to realize that anything put before me, I can overcome. I don't believe anything is by accident. We are faced with certain things for a reason. And once we realize the power that lies within us, we can overcome whatever is put before us. So sometimes you have to become that fire and blaze your own path out of wherever that wherever that needs to go.
That I like that. My son, did you hear that? Okay. I like
I had to get off my mute. Yes, I heard it. I was very proud of the young one.
The
you
young
gotta become your own fire.
Speak more, young one. Speak more. Tell us more about becoming your own fire.
You tripped me out, my Shonda. Love you. So becoming your own fire is realizing your own power. One of my favorite scriptures, is it not written in your law that ye are gods? So if I am an authoritative figure in this earth realm,
Okay.
and I'm being approached by peasants, I mean, I just don't know what else to say, but like, you know, I've said this before, the earth is called to respond to us, not the other way around. So when I'm approached with these certain things, I, again, not saying it's not gonna hurt, not saying you're not gonna cry, not saying it's gonna make you feel away, but once you realize your own power and as you proceed to blaze that path, it makes the process a tad bit easier. And what you're carrying is a little bit more easy to carry. Yeah, it's just all about realizing who you are. And again, I've said this before, whose you are, realizing why you were placed here and be like, okay, this is happening, but it's going to make me stronger. And we're just going to blaze right on through that bad boy. I know it's easier said than done, but once you realize your power, you're pretty much unstoppable with the help of the Most High, of course. We can't negate him at the end of the day.
Yeah. You know, how shall I say this? Sometimes no, not sometimes, probably all the time, I do realize that I sort of came into some truths later in life. Well, no, let me back up. I think I've probably talked before about some of my experiences when we were in Okinawa, Sierra. That's where you were born.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you don't remember exactly this, but being out and away from the norm of things, you know, and the familiar systems and patterns, and being opened up to some other truths, it was interesting. It was great. It was wonderful. And you kind of get in a vein and a flow, and then being put back into that system and that norm. I think it kind of jars you, if you will, but having the knowledge and the understanding at your age in particular of, like you said, who and whose you are. I think that's that kind of sets the path for some phenomenal things to take place and to come out of you. And it's not just you, it's really not only you, but you know, the young ladies that are normally on this call with us. I see you all kind of getting it and being able to hold on to it sooner. And I think, and that's great. I'm excited for the future of women of color in particular, because I mean, we are, Sierra, I can't remember who, but we were hearing a lot last year, and I think the year before, about the year of the woman, or the time of the woman, opening up and coming forth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So, okay. Anybody else?
I was going to say though, you talk about people getting it earlier or quicker. I think that also has to do also with being allowed to be exposed to certain things, or allowing your children or whoever it is around you to ask questions, and then also allow them to be around people that will help develop and nurture them. Because growing up, you always provided that for us. You have always been an open-minded mother. Even some things I would come to you about, I would be surprised at how chillax you were. You just be like, oh, okay. Like, all right. And then we gonna talk about it, and we gonna have a great conversation and move forward. So
yeah, you didn't see my insides.
Yeah. But that's part of it. That's part of, and I can attest to that. For me personally, again, I've been able to ask questions, receive answers, from you, and then I have a great family. I have a great sister. Hi, sister, love you. So, but even with that, like, and my Shonda knows this, she's been vital in my personal development. So she's like, no. But is having people like that in your life to where you're able to grasp on that earlier and hold on to it. Because there are some things that I've come across, things that I've talked to with either my mom, and I'm thinking this conversation is gonna go sideways, because I'm just like, oh Lord, they're gonna be looking at me crazy because I asked this or I said this, and y'all would be just as chill. Now, you would ask the right questions, but it's just like, okay, this is where you're at, and that's fine. Now,
Well,
do I feel like you should stay here? Possibly not. But if you stay there too long, I'm coming for you. But at the same time, so it's also about having that environment. That's just vital, because even when I was transitioning as far as like my beliefs, I would come to like literally, and I know mom knows that I was that interesting child, because some of the questions I would ask her, and when the first book that I read in the Bible was the book of Revelations, and I came to her asking questions, and she's sitting there like, oh, okay. Like, yikes. But even when I was transitioning as far as that, always been supportive, and she'd be like, oh, okay, all right, love you, be careful, bye. Like, that's
So you said something that I want to highlight, and I think really this atmosphere and this setting, how we talk and interact, that's what I want to provide for other young ladies in particular who may not have that space. But you said, you might, some things might hurt, you might cry, whatever. That's a part of it, and it's okay, and get up and move on. I was talking actually to a young lady, it's been a couple of months ago, and she was going through something in her relationship, and it hadn't always been wonderful. He hasn't been perfect. And I think she had talked to a couple of other people who were family members who weren't supportive of her. And she said something to the effect of, I know you think I'm stupid. I told her, no, you're not. You're a woman. He's the father of your child and you love him. It's okay. You're supposed to love. Oh my goodness, that's natural. I said, you are not stupid. I said, it's okay to be in love with him. I told it's okay to love him, and it's okay to hurt, and it's okay to cry. Then get up in the morning, get yourself together, and go to work because you got a baby.
Facts.
And I don't care who he is, what he did, how he do, whatever. You love him. He's the father of your child. Love him, hurt, cry, and get up and go to work in the morning.
And I think sometimes for women, we feel like even though we are naturally emotional creatures, that it's not okay to show emotion. But it is really a part of our divine nature. Now, there is a way to process those emotions accordingly, and to be able to channel and funnel that energy properly. But there is nothing wrong with being emotional and showing emotions. Crying is a way of release. And the scripture always says, it says, be angry, but sin not. It didn't say not to be angry.
Right.
Right. And when I hear that scripture, I think, okay, take the energy from that anger and funnel it into something productive.
Right.
Into something where, okay, I'm angry about this. What is it within my control to where I can possibly avoid this the next time or handle this better?
Right.
So yeah, I'll stop. But yeah, it's okay to be emotional. We don't have to be, we don't have to be tough all the time. I'm gonna be honest, I'm tired of being strong.
Okay. Now, what's funny, I know sometimes I don't have time to cry, but then it'll come out.
It'll come out eventually, but yeah, I'm tired of being strong.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm tired.
Who has got some? And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I'm recording, right? I sure hope I'm getting audio on this. Y'all know I'll be over here clicking buttons. But hopefully by the next time, I'm gonna try and get a couple of people who will kind of begin to help me. There are some things opening up, like a couple of, some good things opening up, and I need to expand. Because I really didn't tell half of what's going on. I told you what we did last week, but it's some things opening up, and I really do need to expand. So I'm gonna have to get a couple of hands. So let's hope and pray. I'm recording it to this computer. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah. So Miss, y'all mighty quiet tonight.
Well, I was gonna say something in pertaining to what Sierra stated about, certain things she would come to you as her mother and talk to you about, not knowing how you would react to it. Well, for me, with my son, he's 15 now. And at first, I tried to create this perception of him to be this, kid that was accepted by, our America, whatever, the traditional kid. And so I used to be really hard on my son just because I wanted him to be accepted in this world we live in. And I had to sit back and my mom, we had a talk, and she was like, hey, Tiff, you just need to kind of, let up off of him a little bit. And so as the years passed, I did. And once I did that, I gave him permission to be himself. At first, he was kind of like a little, if he made a C, he was like, oh God, my mom's going to kill me. But I made it okay for him to say, if I made a C, if that's the best that you can do, and you were happy with that, that was okay. And so now him and I, we have a better relationship because I just accept him for who he is. I don't try to blend him into what I want him to be or conform him. And he's very, it seemed like when I let go of that, he just kind of sprouted out, and he's very artistic. He's very smart. He's very creative. And I think when I was trying to mold him into this person, he wasn't his authentic self. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had to learn that, allow him to be who he is, because you don't know who you're raising. You don't know what he'll turn out to be. And so, and I said, bump what the trend is, or how America sees him, because, we have all these issues with Black boys are perceived a certain way. And so I wanted to keep that stereotype away from him by dressing him preppy, by
Mm-hmm.
doing this for him. And so I just let go, and I let him be himself, and I accept him. He's different. He's very, I won't say different. He don't like me to say different. He's just himself. He doesn't like me to place him in a box with anything. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, Toya, you're very smart. He was like, Mom, just me. And he teaches me to be more vulnerable, to be more, it's okay to feel a certain way without being looked down on. And he just teaches me. So I ordered this book actually from Amazon. One of my friends, he's an author in Maryland, and it's called The Alchemist. Have you guys ever heard of that book?
It is
Mm,
on
what is
my reading
The
list.
what?
Alchemist. Hold on
Oh,
one second.
It's on my list to read. Because currently I'm reading Women Who Run with the Wolves, but The Alchemist
Is
is
this one?
next. So yes, yep.
Yes. So he told me to get this book, and he said that because I'm on this journey of finding out my purpose. But he talked to me, and he's not traditional. I just love him to death. He enlightens me, and he just said, feel what you feel, and don't try to control what you feel. Just embrace every phase of your life, because it's going to lead to a destination that's supposed to be for you. It's nobody else, and there's no right or wrong way to be you. And
mm-hmm.
so when he said that to me, I was just like, wow, because when Sierra talked about it earlier, about she's writing a book, actually, I've been drafting two books. One is in regards to my nephew who was murdered. And I used to love to journal a lot. And I have a poetry book that I'm still writing about. It's called The Beautiful Chaos, The Mess to the Majesty.
Oh,
And so
Okay.
that's what I've been up to. And I was like, oh, I have been doing something. But it's just those things that you don't know that's inside of you until you let go of trying to control or be these certain people that we want the world to see. And it's just be you, and whoever loves you for you, that's fine. And who don't, it's still fine, but just be true to your authentic self. So I'm excited to read this book. Sierra, you read the book?
No, I've heard great things about it. It's on my reading list because I'm currently reading Women Who Run with the Wolves.
Okay. Okay.
So and that has been very eye-opening and enlightening. And The Alchemist is next, like
Okay. Yeah.
in my Amazon cart. So
Yeah. I just got it like I think last week sometime. So
okay.
I think
I've
it's
heard
gonna be a
great
good
things
read.
about it.
Yeah, he was like, Tiffany, you need to get this. So I trust his judgment, and we'll see. I'll let him know, because he's on his second book actually. And
Awesome.
yeah, he's 53, 52, I believe, can't remember. But he's just such a good person. And the second book that he has is trauma or something. I can't remember exactly, but he's on his second book. So he's giving me inspiration, more inspiration. But yeah.
I was looking for a, a copy of my first book, because Tiffany, is something you were saying. I write in the beginning of my first book about how I'm having this conversation with God, and I say, wow, I find in trying and turbulent times, you draw close to me, you know, dropping in your seeds of and your nuggets of creativity, and all of that. And God spoke right back to me and said, I ordained the trouble and the turbulent times to
Yes,
shift the stuff to the top that I put in you before you were born.
yes, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I had to learn to embrace that rocky stuff, because I mean, I was sitting and writing, and it was just like I was hearing a conversation. And I was like,
And you think you're
wow.
crazy, but that is, you're like, am I talking to myself?
Yeah, yeah.
Did I
But
just answer myself?
that's what he was saying to me, so we look at trouble or, negative things in our lives. We look at it one way, but oftentimes, God is saying, I gotta shake stuff up because we used to sing this song, Sierra Beck, with the youth choir Bethlehem. Stir up the gift. Okay, we would have that little corner rocking, and and even during that time when I was writing that, God was saying to me, have you ever stirred a pot without disturbing the contents?
Mm.
You be saying stuff, then when I do it, you got a problem with it. So
Absolutely.
yes, ma'am. So it's those times, and we going through the things. I've learned better, because if I hadn't, I'd be real cuckoo. I'd be probably off my rocker. But I've really learned to embrace those times and try to go, okay, all right, where are we going? What
Oh, yeah.
you want me to see, and what do you want me to do? That helps. Yeah.
And I think accepting the process that gets us to the destination helps. I don't like the process of it. I don't want to go through the process. So it's kind of like, if you don't go through the fire or the process of it, then how can you accept the destination? You won't even understand it. So I'm getting exactly. So I'm getting to a point now where I've accepted the process, whatever the process is. And I know that after the process, there's beauty there, the next phase. So
Yeah.
I've learned to do that more.
Yeah.
And
It's so,
oh, go ahead.
no, it's so funny. I'm looking back from January. It's kind of like we build, because it was faith over fear. And we talked about your greatest wealth is health, calling all to blossom. Be blessed, trust the process.
Mhm.
That was April. And then last month we talked about I'm not confused about my lanes nor my value, but all of it ties into going through different things, the processes, and just and aligning yourself with, first of all, the Most High. And that's where you come into your purpose, just align yourself with him. What did he say about that? Okay, well, that's what I'm gonna do. Just line it up. Wow. Okay.
And I was gonna say, fire, sometimes we can look at it as a negative thing, but in reality, it can be a beautiful thing. We can think of like when we are embracing the process and just going through, allowing that fire to refine and remove what is no longer needed. And then for you to come out of whatever process pure as gold. Fire can get rid of some of that stuff that you've been carrying for a long time that you should have let go a long time ago. I know we can all relate to relationships that, man, you should have let go of a long time ago. And then, you keep getting nudged, and then finally something traumatic just has to happen for you to be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we just gonna cut that off. So again, I feel like embracing this process is also becoming the fire and allowing that fire to refine whatever is that needs refining. I know that that's something that I personally need to learn as far as embracing the process. Now, I'm gonna go through it, but usually I'm going through it. Yeshua has to drag me by my ankle through the fire, and I'm begging on like a little kid in the store when you tell them no, they think it, and that's me. Like, no, I'm not going. And then I end up on the other side, and I'm like, oh, okay. So that's something that I have to personally learn, especially with like where I'm at currently. I've just been I've just been in a place like, whoa, life is real. Not saying I didn't think it was real before, but life is real. Like, it's real out here in these streets. I really am a spiritual being trapped in an earthen vessel. And I'm out here looking at Earth, and right now with everything going on, it's low key looking a tad bit ghetto, but it's real out here. So, you know, it's and it didn't hit me honestly about life being real until I moved. I'm like, I am legit out here in these streets, just out here trying to be an adult. And I thought I had it together, but in reality, I don't. And that has been a fire, that has been a process in itself. Um, I have been, how do I want to phrase this? I have been, and this is not necessarily a bad thing, but I've been on family land all my life. Turn around, mama's there, turn around, grandma's there, turn around, cousin such and such is here, turn around, my sister's 30 minutes away from me. Everybody is in close vicinity. And for me to pick up and move where I know little to no one, and life is hitting me for real at 31, that's a like, and because when I first got here, I was just like, well, maybe I should go back. And I remember one day texting my Shunda, and I was like, yeah, it's ghetto. So, you know, so now I'm in a place where, and this was needed today, embracing because right now this is a process, but this was needed. I heard God when he told me to move. And the process was kind of cute, getting there and kind of excited. But then once I got here, I was like, oh no. What is it?
Because
What
once
is
you
this?
get there, there's nothing else. I said, once you get to the destination, if you try to alter it to move fastly or quickly, then what else do you have left to look forward to?
Yeah.
Because you're already where you know, the destination. But I have a question. Do you think that life is already preordained, or we control certain things?
Whew. That is a toughie. It really is. And that's something that I'm honestly battling, because we have the free will. And then we have, you know, again, because I believe it based off my favorite scripture. Is it not written in your law that ye are gods? People of authority, they make decisions. And they make decisions based off knowledge, life experiences, whatever and whatever. And we make a decision as far as what we think is best at the time. I want to say, I honestly feel like I lean more towards life is more what you make it. That's what I want to lean towards more time. But it's, for me, that kind, like, it's just difficult for me right now, because I've seen things where we have attached ourselves to things and jobs, and like, we know God is calling us to hire, or we know we've been told to leave that job, or we know we've been told to leave it, and we just won't let it go. We won't let the person go, or people marrying who they shouldn't be married. Like, it's I just feel like it could go either way. And for me personally, that is just honestly something I am still battling, because I know I can make some decisions, and there are consequences, whether positive or negative, for those decisions. Because a lot of people are under the assumption that consequences are negative. No, it is a response to a choice that has been made. So yeah, that I know that doesn't really answer the question, but
No, it's your
really
perception.
So,
it really is.
I believe that, I do believe that there are some things that we individually are put in this earth to deposit, to leave, and to do. I know too that a man's heart deviseth his ways. So, I believe that if you truly align with the Most High, and you said you're like, okay, what is my purpose? I don't know if a purpose is one fell swoop of something, or if purpose is too a part of it is process. So while I do believe that there are some things that we were dispatched into this earth realm to deposit and to leave. So when we align, I believe that because before we align, when we make decisions that we probably shouldn't have or whatever, so sometimes our path will start looking like this. But I really do believe when we yield ourselves, he gets out of us what because the scriptures tell us his word shall not return to him void. So when we align ourselves and we yield, we can deposit and do what he sent us here to do. I think one thing is that we kind of think life, we come into this earth, we're babies and we grow up and life is all, hunky-dory. Life is about, graduate high school, go to college, get married, have children, have grandchildren. We have, because again, we're in this flesh stuff here that ain't even real. That's what trips me. The real stuff is what you can't even see. So we've kind of been conditioned of what it's supposed to be. And I don't know that what we've been conditioned to, that's what it's really all about. So even though that's still probably muddy, I do believe that there are some things that, and I would say all of us, because I don't know that he really is a respecter of person kind of like that. But even if you look at a Dr. King, we'll just use him as an example. There was a mantle, there was a mission, there was a purpose. And we talk and we shudder because his life was taken so tragically. Well, what if that was his assignment though?
And you know what, Miss Cynthia, since you bring that up, when my nephew was murdered, I was like, okay, God, I love my favorite scripture is Romans 8:28. All things work together for the good of those who love God. And so when my nephew transitioned over, I used to ask God, okay, what is the purpose of this? Like, I don't see it yet. His life had to be taken so brutally to the point where, okay, what is it? Am I supposed to be doing something? And I felt like he never answered me. And so I stopped talking to him, and I just was like, I just, my whole prayer life, my whole belief, it changed. And, but one thing I've learned is everything reveals itself in due time, because I never imagined to speak in front of the public. I don't like to speak publicly. I like to be behind the scenes with everything I do. I don't like to be the forefront of anything. I never have. And, I started the first speaking, I was home and they were having, I think the Black Lives Matter little thing. And I just jumped up, threw something on a hat, tennis shoes, and I just spoke out in the open. And I couldn't believe that, so I was like, okay, God. And then the rally and the walk that we just had Saturday, I publicly was speaking, and all those things now that I'm looking back and saying, you know, all that led up to what I'm doing now. And I didn't see that back then when my nephew transitioned. And you know, so I just kind of, I guess everything will reveal itself in time, but I wanted to reveal itself then, you know, and those things I just have to be patient. It's not a good thing for me. I don't have it. I'm learning it. God is teaching me a rough way to have it. I want what I want, what I want, and I understand that that's not it. You can, and so he's teaching me patience with a lot of things, but
Mhm.
it's just a lot. It's just a lot. But I understand where you're going with the, you know, everything is aligned. Once you get aligned, I think that's when everything will flow. But once the friction that you have, I'm going through some things as far as my different beliefs and everything. Like I'm not, I am a disciple. That's how I look at myself. I don't identify with like being a Christian or, you know, Buddhist or anything like that, because I feel like all of it is necessary and there's no right or wrong way to be whatever makes you a good person. Or, you know, even atheists, they have their own thing to where they believe, okay, they don't believe in God, but I talked to someone who was an atheist and he just believes in the universe. He doesn't think that there's something higher that can create such being. And we kind of, you know, had a little friction. But I said, why, who am I to argue with someone if that's what they believe? Like, who's to say what I believe is right? Because for every fact that I can give that person, they can give me a fact in regards to why they believe a specific way. So I just kind of digress and let people just be who they are and accept them, as long as you're not hurting, killing, or, you know, doing anything to cause harm to humanity, then I accept, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at with a lot of things.
I find it interesting. I think I write about this too, how, you know, when I pray earnestly, seeking answers, God, because I want to be a good wife. I want to be a good mother. I'm just crying. I'm just singing. And he says not one word. I'd be like, okay, this how we gonna do this.
Mhm.
But he makes me dig. And I think a part of that, because, you know, when the scriptures talk about if you draw nigh to him, he'll draw nigh to you. So when you get on your face, snotting and crying, and you want the answer like that, you're trying to get close to him. When he gets silent, that's him pulling you even closer, because you have to study, you have to dig, you got to seek. And sometimes, you know, again, that's a part of the process. And sometimes a little uncomfortable, but necessary, a part of the process. Wow.
I said absolutely.
So, being the fire, because we're gonna get ready to pull from the pot, and we're gonna get ready to pull from the pot. But you know, when I read that quote, I won't be consumed by the fire, because I am the fire. So it's hot mamas. You're a hot mama. I kind of started envisioning, you know, just sharp. I'm blazing a trail, and I think you said that. I'm blazing a trail. It might not look like what my mama did, my grandma, my friends, you know, whoever else, but I'm the fire and I'm blazing this trail. And I think it's beautiful. So, because there are going to be others, it might be people you don't even know yet, who are going to be looking to you, or who, you know, and they're going to be like, whoa, you know, I feel like I'm all out here by myself, and where they may not have a lifeline, they might be able to look at you and go, whoa, wait a minute, let me kind of get closer to her, or get closer to that, because I see something I can follow. So yay. Mashonda, you want to share before we go to the pot? We're going to the pot.
You know, we love the pot. I I think I'll say a couple of things. I'll try to say a couple of things, but most of what I would have said already came out. And it's really funny how that happened, because one of the things I was talking to God about today, and even recently, I'm gonna tell you what I heard specifically today. Can you trust me enough to be quiet? That I will say exactly what needs to be said without your mouth. I got it. And so I just sat here, and everything I wanted to say came out. Such saying that to say, are you okay with not being the vessel? Sometimes we can be so caught up in going all the way back to the beginning where I was talking about, I'm just doing stuff for me. Being so busy trying to do and be a particular thing.
Yes.
We want to be this vessel. We want to be used because that will validate me. Well, what ain't my time to be validated. Somebody else need to say that today.
Right.
And what I also heard is really, and I don't mean to put you on the front street, Tiffany, but welcome to the Hot Mamas. This was for you. I heard a lot for you. And it was time for me to, you had a lot to say. Even when you weren't like necessarily saying, it was a lot for you to say. But one thing I will say about the fire, because Sierra made my point for me, and then Cynthia made my point for me, and then Tiffany, I think you made one of my points for me, but I wanted to make a point about the article, the versus a. I will not be consumed by the fire because I am the fire. There's a difference between the fire and a fire.
That's good.
Am I still here? Somebody tried to call me. So the fire means whatever. Am I still here? Somebody keeps trying to call. Okay. So what made me lose my point? So whatever is trying to consume me, to be the fire, I would have to also be that fire, right? That's not how I interpret Sierra's quote. I interpret it as the one where she said something about refining. That was specifically what I heard. I was going to be quiet and let Sierra come to the point of making that, because it's her quote. It was her quote. There's a difference between the fire that consumes and burns, and burns up everything, and the fire that refines. And I kept thinking about how, you can go through the fire. We'll go back to your process. You can go through the fire and not get burnt if you will stop kicking and screaming and fussing and complaining because you're wriggling around in the fire.
That's true.
If you will stop wriggling, then all it will do is burn off what's supposed to come off. But the reason you're getting burned and scorched and hurt and all of that is because you won't just let the thing happen. It can be hot beside you and you still not come out burnt. You can come out refined. Sierra said, like gold. I'd rather come out refined. I am a fire. Then I thought about the part where the fire that's consuming is the same as the fire that's me. So we're all one, going back to this whole universe thing. It's all one. We're all part of this one thing. So I can also be part of the fire that's trying to consume me, but only in a learning way. Whatever is happening is teaching me. I won't be consumed by it because it's actually talking to me. What's happening to me is actually talking to me, raising me up, bringing me through, if I let it stop kicking and screaming and all of that. Yeah. And then the last thing I would say to Tiffany's point, do you believe that everything that happens is preordained, or I think you said something to that effect, is predetermined, something to that effect, or do we have choice? My little 2 bits on that is what I immediately felt in my spirit. I think the bigger question is, why does it matter? I think sometimes we have to ask ourselves why we ask the question. We can get bogged down trying to answer a question without really knowing why we're trying to answer the question. Because if I want to know if everything is predetermined and the answer is yes, it is, then all the joy and mystery and momentness of life is gone. Because it's not going to matter. Everything's just going to happen the way it's going to happen. That's my 2 cents on everything that was said today. Thank you for my time. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
On Clubhouse, they say I'm Mashunda and I'm done speaking.
I'm on Clubhouse today. I'm done speaking.
So Mashundas,
Yeah.
and this is what I heard. I can't be a part of the fire that's trying to consume me. So when we're a part, when we recognize unhealthy space and places, we have to get in a healthy space and place in our mind, in our physical locale as well.
That is correct. I'm gonna agree.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I don't know what else to say. Like I said, we're gonna step it up with our recordings, and some other things. I'll probably be chatting with you all offline. Because I just want you all to know what's going on. Because when doors open for me, I always say whoever's attached or who I'm attached to, that door is open as well. So I want to make sure I share some things with you guys offline. Please, you all and anybody watching this video, please, again, don't forget to go to our website, www.starrcommunity.online. See what's going on, get some merchandise, embrace Pangea, get your vaginal detox going on, okay? Let's do that.
Miss Cynthia, can I make one more point, because something you said reminded me of something that I want to say, because Sierra's quote is actually really, really good. We all know that's profound. I will not be consumed by the fire, for I am the fire. How do they fight fire? With fire. If something's trying to burn you up, you got to fight that thing with fire. When the forest is burning, what do? They set up another fire to catch it. So I thought that was just now when you were speaking, I thought about that. And I don't think we made that point in particular, but I think that also speaks directly to what Sierra is saying when she says, I am the fire. As big as this fire is, no matter what is trying to burn up in my life, no matter what is trying to tear down my forest, I'm going to set this perimeter, this boundary. Not today, Satan. Now I'm done.
That's good.
Well, we have to be so just like we've been conditioned to pay more attention to this temporary flesh, we have to start working on ourselves to be conditioned to pay more attention to our spirit being.
Yes.
And it's a process. It is a process. Yeah. So today, June 20th, 2021, I've done this 3 times now today. So let's go to Ema Soup Pot. Let's see what questions, unless Sierra, I forgot, unless you have some other words I'm sorry. I won't go to the soup pot too fast.
No, nothing much really else to say. This was, a great conversation. Just whatever it is, I don't want it to allow you to be consumed and overtaken, and you find yourself in a place where you are sitting and wallowing. Because believe we've all kind of said this earlier. It's okay. Try, do whatever it is you got to do, but do not stay there. You just gotta keep pushing and keep pushing forward. I know it is easier said than done, but I have always said, and I've been guilty of wallowing, but eventually I get up because I refuse to stand before the Most High with someone else's blood on my hands, because I have not done what I was supposed to do. I did not reach who I was supposed to reach. I didn't write this book. I didn't go do that dance. I didn't go do that performance to go touch whoever's life was ever going to be in that audience to save them from whatever. And now they're out here lost, because at the end of the day, it's not really about me. my personal development and my character, yes. We get so caught up in these gifts. Oh, she's a prophet. Oh, he's an apostle. Oh, they can see, but we don't talk about character.
Oh, you want to do that tonight, Sierra? You want to go there? You want to talk about character? Come on in.
We don't talk about character, but even the Bible says, you know, you can move these mountains, cast out demons, blah blah blah, but if you don't have love, you is nothing, baby. You was not kind, you was not smart. No, it's important if you ain't got no love.
Hang up.
Oh, just like a Baptist preacher, you don't went back into the sermon. Go ahead, preacher. Take your time, son. Take your time.
Take your time, preacher.
But you know, we talk about, oh goodness, the church talks about all of these gifts, and we get so caught up in the gifts and how to develop your gift to be a prophet and how to develop your gift to be an apostle, and this is what you got to do in order to be an archbishop, but you ain't teaching people how to talk to folk and how to handle folk and how to handle folks who are going through certain situations. Let's talk about discernment and common sense.
Yeah.
Let's talk about character, because I don't care how gifted you are. If you don't know how to treat me or talk to me, I'm not putting $9 in your offering plate.
Where's your mother? Where you come from?
Not Nan.
Who is your people?
Who is your people?
You don't know how to talk to people. You don't know how to deal with people. You call to the nations, but you can't even go across the street.
Yeah.
Your community around you is just run down, full of people who are suffering, whether it's with drugs or whatever. And again, there is nothing wrong with helping the nations, and I'm all for that. But your nations is also across the street, because those are just sitting in those bellies.
Well.
Okay.
All right, I'm done.
You
Embrace the process.
You all right? You got that all?
You know, better? I can get. I'm sorry, and I mean this, and I mean it in love. I have a fire. It's just my nature tend to be fiery, and then you know they say I'm a fire sign, so you know whatever. But
and I'm an earth, you know, so you know, balance.
So. And I just mean that in love. And we need the spiritual gifts. Yes, everything has a role, everything has a place, but we also need that character. And when you bring those things together, that is what I honestly believe makes like what they call a dynamic man or woman of God. Because again, I know how to relate to the people. I know how to talk. I can come to where they are and still use my gifts effectively to minister whatever it is I need to minister them. And half of the time when you are walking in that alignment and that oneness, you will be speaking scripture without even speaking scripture. Because half the time we want to do this Bible bashing because John 3:16 says God, and somebody who know they light's about to get cut off, or they in an abusive relationship, or they addicted to sex, they ain't got time to hear that right now.
Yeah.
Just don't.
I want to pull back. I love your fire.
Yes.
Don't burn me. Don't burn me.
Gotcha.
Cynthia, don't you think I know it's not meant to be a Christian or spiritual conversation, but ain't it funny? Every month we wind up right back here. We always
because that's who we are.
It's always gonna come back here.
Yeah.
Whatever stage of your walk you in, whatever process you in, whatever you believe, they're always gonna come back here. But the firecracker said, when she hit on character, and I promise I will be done after this. I thought that was important because if you take that character and tie that to not being consumed by the fire, we must develop good, sound character so that we won't be consumed by the fires. When she was talking about, can we talk about character? It's important to have this community of women, a community of people, a community you live in. You must have people that you touch and learn from, glean from, to help develop strong character, so that when the fire comes and you over there crying, you'll hear it from me. You'll hear it from me. If you my friend, I said you got 5 minutes to cry, and then you go ahead to get up. You get to cry. You get to cry. But that character's got to be in there, because if the character is in there, it will strike the match that lights the fire, so you can get up and keep going. But you got to have a character. We could talk about the godliness. We could talk about the spirit of God. We could talk about the spirit of discernment as Christians. But like to Sierra's point, somebody about to get their lights turned off, somebody who's an atheist, somebody who's not in the same walk as you, still need to have their fire lit. And you need to be able to teach them how to do it.
That's right. That's right.
Character's gonna help you get there.
That's right.
Good point.
Character is gonna help you get there.
That's
Good
right.
point.
That's right.
Character is definitely gonna help you get there. That's beautiful.
Y'all is some powerful sinners. Y'all ready for me to pull some out this? Here, let's put some of that power. Let's put some power on out the pot. Let's see what we got today.
I woke up from a nap just for this pot.
This says why people
Did she
aren't
do
motivated. This is what it says. Why people aren't motivated enough, because they ain't got no fight.
That's it. Miss Cynthia, did you do the one?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh.
I live for the one now.
You know my Shonda like shenanigans.
Break them.
Why people aren't motivated enough.
Why
This is
people
Look,
ain't
I just read right off the paper.
Well, all kinds of reasons people don't have the motivation that they need for themselves. Because I'll give you one. Because there's a difference between motivation and discipline. Right? People want somebody to tell them what to do, and the minute they lose their coach, they lost their motivation. But your motivation has to be attached to discipline in order to last.
That's
Said I was gonna put some shoes in here by this table so I could throw them.
Throw 'em!
Doggone it. I have not one shoe in here.
That's all right.
That's good.
That's good.
Whoa.
I think that's the answer to the question.
That's the end.
Look, that's it. But I guess also the question is how, you know what? And I probably just answered, but how does one obtain discipline?
Process. We back to this process.
I would also say mindset
and character development. Everything.
This is how I feel about motivation. Motivation absolutely 100% must come from a very real place. Tiffany wasn't about to stand up on nobody's stage and tell nobody nothing at no time, never. But she has a different reason. Her motivation comes from a real place. Ain't nobody got to ask her to do it. She is motivated by her past, by her love to do it. So if the price for the motivation is there, you would be motivated.
And I'll give another.
You don't want to be motivated. You want to be talked into it. This is why I don't like working out with people, because people don't want me to motivate them. They want me to talk them into doing stuff.
Girl, we'll be done fell out.
You're gonna do these sit-ups so you not. You're gonna do these sit-ups so you not.
Mashonda, I'm glad you brought that up about working out with people, because like you stated, once your heart is in something and you have in your mind to do it, you're going to do it. There's nothing that you can be coerced to do it, or anything. Because I told my son, I was like, I want to lose about 20 pounds, and he works out every night. And I said, well, show me how to do that. He was like, Mom, you don't want it yet. I was like, I just whacked my little tail right on in my living room and sat down, and I said, you know what, God, enough is enough. He was like, he was like, you don't want it now. I was like, why you say that, son? And he was like, because if you want it, I shouldn't want it more for you than you want it for yourself. And that's the truth, because sometimes in weight loss is that's a very tough thing for me, because what we do, well, for some, we buy clothes to hide And then once we get tired and say, okay, you know what? I'm tired. Now you're motivated because you can't cover it up anymore. You can't put something on to, to hide that. So now it becomes, okay, I'm sick of it. And then that's when people want to change, when their health is affected by it. We want to do things. How does that saying go? We don't like to address it until something happens to make us address it. Like we have to be forced to do something. For some of us, for weight loss for me, that is, I'm not ready yet. I talk about it, but I walk sometimes and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. But I don't want it as much as I say I want. I'm just talking. So I like your point where you stated earlier, Mashonda, about that. I can't make you do 20 sit-ups. You got to want to do it, so that's the truth.
Now that's my hardcore point, right?
Mhm.
But the truth of the matter is there's always two sides of the coin. That part is very, very true. A lot of people want to. A lot of people want to, and that's why they ain't got no motivation. The flip of that coin is a very real need to overcome something that is trying to consume your desire to get to your higher place.
Exactly.
I wanted very much so to become a cyber analyst. Howsoever, I could not overcome this nagging voice in my head that said I couldn't do it. I had monetary motivation. I had numerous people in my corner telling me to do it, but there's someone back here telling me I can't. That is a very real reason why sometimes people are not motivated enough. It's not so much that they don't have the proper motivation. It's just that they have a fire back here that seeks to consume them.
Yeah.
So I want to be balanced in my answer, but y'all know my first answer is my real answer.
No, and then like I said, the battle, it really does start in the mind. So if I think I cannot do it, then I'm going to say I cannot do it. And when I put into the atmosphere, that's how my body, and then I'm hearing myself say it. My body and my actions are going to govern themselves accordingly.
Right, and faith cometh by hearing. So you and we just use that in church, but that is the truth.
And you also have what you say.
Yeah. So you have to be careful about what you say, what you let come out of your mouth, and then the atmosphere that you're in. For instance, true story. Soon as we hang up this talk about losing weight, when we get off this Zoom call, Sierra, your grandma waiting on me. We're going to IHOP get pancakes.
Okay.
Yeah,
she would look. She is so excited. Y'all might have to drop her off some.
Get it out.
Come on my way.
So we were gonna get early. They were crowded. We headed to IHOP tonight for pancakes.
Y'all going to the one in North Augusta too, ain't y'all?
But no, because she does prefer that. But we already made our decision. So so that motive. So I'm motivated
to get pancakes.
Go get pancakes.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
But the thing is, you do have to find your passion point.
That's right.
So what is your passion point? This weekend, Tiffany, we know your passion point. And for me, that's my passion point, but from a little bit different angle, from that undergirding and supporting. That's a passion point for me. So you have to know, again, your motivation is going to come. What is your passion point?
Your passion point and your breaking point, right? I heard that as you were talking, because your breaking point can certainly show enough be your motivation. I'm sitting where I'm sitting today in my new job because I was motivated by my breaking point to go after that which actually fed my Shonda, what actually made me feel good, what actually met my purpose, what actually spoke to me. I hit a breaking point. I had absolutely wanted to do something different, but I hadn't hit the breaking point. I knew what I was passionate about. I'm always passionate about teaching. I'm always passionate about people. I'm passionate about leadership. But I wasn't broken yet. Oh, there's a sermon right there. I wasn't broken yet.
That's true.
Wow. What was that?
Because there's enough left in you to do for me now that you're broken.
Yeah, broken. Is that the song?
That's the name of the song.
Yeah. Now see, now I'm gonna have to listen. Well, I'm gonna be breaking up these pancakes in a minute. Hey, do we need to sometimes we do two. Do we need to do another one?
Whatever.
Come on, Tiffany's new, so we got to give her a second one. Go ahead and break her in with two questions.
All right. Okay, we'll see what else is here. We're gonna have to have an event and get some more stuff added to the soup pot.
Yes.
Let's see what we got here.
This is Tiffany's inaugural meeting. She should get two like we normally
Okay, there we go.
Oh, yay, shenanigans.
All right.
Mashonda.
Tiffany, you might as well just come to terms with it. I tell my team this all the time. Let this happen. Just let me do this.
Yeah, you just notice we have not said anything. We just
Mashonda got this. Thank you, Mashonda.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
We are shenanigans away.
Should the school system be allowed to give birth control pills to underage girls 11 years old without their parents?
Is this a real question?
Yes, it is. It was in the pot. Oh,
I say no.
Oh, no.
I say no because
I mean it's a no from me, but
yeah,
I'm trying to figure out where this even. Of course,
I need to know what this was rooted in because
Okay. Can you repeat that question one more time? I'm sorry, guys.
I got questions.
What was that? I was trying to talk to my son and
Should the school system be allowed to give birth control pills to underage girls 11 years old without their parents' knowledge?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That was an easy question. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely not. I don't even like where the parents can no longer go into the appointments with the children. I think they cut it off at a certain age. I think it's 16, I want to say. I don't even like that part of it because at 16, you don't really know, how to answer certain things or what they're going to ask. I just feel like, no, heck no, no.
It's just too much in, system,
Yeah.
and I do think that, your household, that should be the bottom line. You need to kind of set the course, if you will, because that is your responsibility as the parent. That's just a little much, and no, they should not to underage girls. No.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just got questions about. I need to know what that was rooted in because
I don't know
where it had come from, what had happened. Now y'all know I can flip the other way and say I can see an instance where personally, because we all know my story, being a survivor of sexual abuse, and I was being abused at 11 years old, started at 8. So let's say I'm having my cycle at 11, and I know enough to be concerned, but I have to go get my mother's permission for this birth control. But I'm afraid that my stepfather might impregnate me. So I'm trying to get birth control from the one place that I feel safe enough to do it. And I was able to go to the school nurse and ask her, would it be possible to get birth control? And she says, well, you got to tell your mom. What sort of situation am I being put in at this point? That's the only possible scenario that I could come up with. where privacy might be a reason where someone would not want to, like a legit privacy reason.
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing I
totally.
can come up with. Other than that, it's like it's a no from me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, because I think even with that though, if you know, that may need to, the privacy kind of may need to go out the window so that that child can then be protected. I
Absolutely.
know to open up a can of worms, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
No, it's a no.
Well, I'm exhausted. Okay. I'm
I'm
this I'm done put the top back on the pot and put the pot back over there. Look at here. Hey, check out the site, look on the page. I have a group. I don't even know if it's a public group. I just be clicking. I know some of you in it, and I'm gonna try to open. I don't know what I'm doing, but we'll see you next month. I'll probably send a message or something, an email, and just kind of let you all know some of the things offline that's opening up and going on. Yay, so we've had our monthly at Emma's table, and I have certainly enjoyed it. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Mashunda. Thank you, Sierra, for sharing your wisdom and your insight and just sharing of yourselves. And we certainly hope that whoever watches this, whenever they see this, that you can maybe laugh a little bit and get a little insight, you know, from us ladies, just kind of talking about it. Okay. All right, ladies, are we good?
Good.
Yes, we are
Nice to meet
good.
you, Miss Shonda.
Nice to meet you, Tiffany.
Y'all have a good evening.
Nice
My little
meeting you,
sister.
my
Nice to
Yolanda.
meet you.
Nice
Night,
meeting
guys.
you, my.
Love you.
Good night.
Bye, night.